My name is Jake. My character's name is Vase. Let's see here.
Wood Elf Monk.
Wood Elf Monk. That is me. I do things. What am I doing? Where's my stuff? Oh, background. Hermit. I spent 50 years in the woods. Oh wait. Okay, I discovered some evil guys doing a ritual in the woods, so I had a master too. He taught me all kinds of stuff. They summoned a demon, and my master came upon us. He intervened, killed the demon, but there were these cultists who slayed him. I chased them off. They summoned there was a stone left over, and I hid it in the woods. And I noticed these same cultists coming around trying to find me and slay me. So I left. That's pretty much it. Personality traits, I'm calm, quick to act. I'm serene in the wild, kind of paranoid and anxious in cities. I always try and cover my face because I think there's people looking for me. I don't like to talk to strangers. So my ideals are Mother Earth, and I'm all about the greater good. I entered seclusion to, and flaws, have strong morals for innocent and helpless animals and beings, keeping secrets, and I greatly desire unknown knowledge and things from the past, present, finding out conspiracies, who's doing the dirty dirt in the world, politics too, and just hidden knowledge is a big thing for my guy. Proficient in herbalism. I have a disguise kit, so I cover my face up whenever we're going into populated areas. And yeah, Wood Elf Monk. And I like stuff. That's about it. That's the rundown.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Who's next? Johnny, you want to go next?
Sure. Let's see. Save this change real quick. I am Inquisitor Kurgan Stoward Shield. I have been with the church. I am a dwarf cleric of war. I'm an acolyte. I'm lawful good of the one religion. I have been with the church, and I am a true believer in the faith and all that it stands for. He believes that some heretics can be saved because we kill everybody, or we have to remove everybody. So he tries to save some of the heretics, which can get him into trouble depending upon who he's working for. He believes his God gives him the gift of fortitude to be able to deal with heretics physically and mentally, which also leads into his dwarven beliefs. Personality traits: he believes he believes in leading from the front. He believes actions, your beliefs are meaningless unless they're put to the test. Flaws: he does not have a lot of patience for heretics, and he is very strong in his beliefs. So that is part of his flaw, is his belief, because it can take him overboard. Any questions or any?
Which subclass of dwarf are you?
Oh,
Hill or mountain?
I think it's mountain. Excellent question. I cannot remember.
What does that do?
It's just a matter of there's some enhancements.
Actually,
It's
you'll have additional stats and abilities.
Yeah. Cool.
He's a mountain dwarf.
Okay.
Mountain dwarf. That's
Yeah, he's a mountain dwarf. Good question. Anything else?
I think that was all I had.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Who's next?
Oh, I can. Yes, I had to be the oddball cross-dresser. I am running Brella Cloudwalker. She is a halfling barbarian.
Cool.
She was basically dropped off at the edge of a human village by her halfling mother, who was on the run from a band of gnolls. The woman that took her in happened to be a quote-unquote barbarian fighter. And of course, her new daughter attempted to follow in her training, but she was laughed at because she just never got she never got any larger than the village children, no matter how much she aged. Her mother tried to keep her from following her, but there was nothing she could do. So she finally said, "Why fight it?" and figured that she would train her. The men of the village were rather typical and figured that since Brella was so tiny, she was no better than the hounds and other animals of the tribe. So that's basically where they put her, and so she ended up spending much of her time with them and got very well acquainted with them, to the point where the village beasts actually started liking her better than the rest of them, because she actually treated them nicely instead of just kicking them around.
Cool.
The large hounds would let her hop up on their back and ride, which of course, her mother thought was kind of strange because she'd never seen any of their children do it. But when her mother started noticing that her little daughter astride one of their mastiffs would be following them when she would go out on scouting missions, decided that, okay, she's getting pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And then the last thing was as she entered her teens, when normally the village young or young adults were handed off to the adults to join the scouting and war bands, she was suggested to join the scouts. Of course, she was laughed at because, again, she was so tiny. But after following the clan leader through the woods and basically tagging him on the backside with the flat of her hand axe before he even knew that she was there, she was allowed to join up with the scouts. And shortly thereafter, she started developing her mother's raging abilities and was actually finally accepted into the tribe. To get where she's at now, she was basically sent as an escort. Some stuff was needed from outside of the village, and as the rest of the tribe was busy elsewhere, they felt that she could be released long enough to play escort and then come home. Like I said, halfling barbarian. As far as her stats and so forth are concerned, for her background, she's an outsider, athletics and survival. She can play the drum.
Ooh, nice.
Even though she's a halfling, I've actually got to change this on my sheet. She actually doesn't know how to speak halfling because she was never around again to learn it. So at some point in time, when she finally figures out what's going on, she'll probably try to learn it. You'll notice that she wears an Arctic foxtail hanging from the back of her belt. That was a trophy of the first animal that she trapped and killed by herself. She's extremely fond of animals, particularly canines and raptors, but she has no qualms about hunting for food. She does not hunt for pleasure. She's always trying to increase her fighting and survival skills to make her parents proud. She will not always answer a direct question, but if she does answer, it will be the truth. And she is extremely aware and slightly ashamed about her size compared to the rest of her family, so she tends to be kind of reserved and shy around strangers until she gets to know them. And she does indeed have a Mastiff for a pet / mount, and the Mastiff's name is Foxcatcher. That's it. Any questions?
My name is
hear
Travis Prosser. I'm playing Kyvan Bray, the half-elf sorcerer. Male, 24, 6 feet and 200 pounds, which is heavy for an elf, and there's a reason for that. Personality traits we'll start with. Sarcasm and insults are my weapon of choice. Ideals. I am a free spirit. Nobody tells me what to do. Bonds. Somewhere I have a child who does not know me, and I want to make the world a better place for them. And flaws. I am convinced that no one could ever fool me the way I fool them. A bit of basic backstory. Kyvan grew up raised by a butler named Yosin Tossel in a library in Adenaze. He is a child of noble birth, but his parents died in an accident when he was a child where the manor burned down. There it is. At age 10, a book was donated to his library by a cloaked figure who he can't identify, and from it he learned a bit about his family's dark history. His first ancestors obtained their power from a gold dragon, and when he turned 14, he started teaching himself magic and traveling the world. But he was a bit vain. He hadn't figured out until he left that he would need money when he was out traveling. So he started scamming people. General con artist, he would beg, he would lie, he would cheat. When he turned 18, he fell in love with a girl from Obir, and he stayed there, working at the local library. When she was with child, he was on his way to propose and suggest that she move back to Adenaze with him. But her father confronted him with a wanted poster. Somebody had identified him by his false identity, thankfully, but the picture was accurate from when he had conned them before. The father insisted that Kyvan leave town and cease all contact with his daughter, or he would have him thrown in prison. So since then, he went back home and kind of beat himself up for the past 5 years until his parents' money ran out. The library doesn't make enough money to support 2 people, and he needed another excuse to go adventuring. So while Yosin is watching the library for the power needed to confront father and convince her that he actually loves her.
All right, cool.